Welcome, it's your boy Viz for Life, back with another Madden video. Today we're going to talk about something very important, and that's the depth chart. If you play Madden, your depth chart is one of the keys to your win. It's actually like one of the first things you can do to ensure you're going to have a good outcome. The reason being is it pretty much controls who's going to be on the field at what time. Any veteran or pro Madden player will tell you they have their depth chart set up to the T for what they want to do and what they want to establish. Now, this video is for people who like to play Madden head-to-head online rank with the regular teams. This will show you how I set up my depth chart for whenever I go out there and I play my online head-to-head games. And to make it a little bit easier for you, what I'm going to do is I'm breaking it down by division. So of course we're going to start with the home of my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, and we're going to do the AFC East. Now, disclaimer alert, I should let you know I value my Madden players at a different criteria than what you've probably been told. A lot of people really like speed. Speed is definitely important in Madden, but for my play style, it's not the end all or be everything. I'm really a big proponent of people who can make plays outside of the speed, such as for running backs, I like power over speed. For wide receivers, I like the ability that you're going to catch the ball if you're open rather than you're going to burn someone. So just want to give you that disclaimer. Once again, kind of up to you how you do your own depth chart, but I'm going to give you a guideline for what I do. So that being said, let's start off with the Miami Dolphins. So as you can see, we're already here. Tua, that's the dude. There really is no difference between him and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Tua is probably your best bet just because he has the stronger arm and he's also the fastest quarterback on the roster. So just to show you, he has the strongest arm on the team. So he's your best bet if we're going with a quarterback on the Dolphins. All right, halfback wise, a lot of people are going to use Matt Breida because of the 95 speed, which once again, I tell you, solid. He's the highest overall halfback, but is he the best bet? I don't think so. I think Myles Gaskin is your best halfback on the squad. Yes, he doesn't have the 95 speed, but look at what you're getting instead. You're getting someone who has an 80 break tackle, which is the highest on the team. He has a 71 trucking, which while not the highest on the team, better than Matt Breida. And look at the ball carriage doesn't really matter, but juke moves, 90 carrying, which is the best on the team, so you know he's not going to fumble, and he actually has better catch than Matt Breida. I'm not going to go through all the stuff, but Myles Gaskin's my starter. Yes, he's not a home run threat like Matt Breida is, but he's a more reliable back. The next thing I do is I put in Salvon Ahmed. Salvon Ahmed, younger dude, 90 speed. He's the speed back for me. Reason why I use him over Matt Breida, honestly, is in real life, this is what's to do. Like, Matt Breida really didn't do much. He has good acceleration. Lower trucking than Matt Breida, but good change of direction. Decent spin move, decent juke, better carrying. So once again, that's kind of how I would play it. I don't really use Matt Breida much. I kind of put him in on like halfback screens if I really want to. Now, obviously, if you want the speed factor, Matt Breida is your guy, but I just feel like he doesn't produce explosive plays like these two have done for me all year, Madden. Fullback, they have Christian Wilkins. He's a big dude. He plays right end. He's zero at fullback. He doesn't really have the best blocking, and I hate when I use like iPro or strong and he's in there. So I put in Adam Shaheen over him most of the time just because he has the better blocking and he actually can catch if there's a pass situation where he's open. Wide receiver, I keep Devontae Parker because he is the big body. He is the most experienced runner or route runner on the team. I keep Preston Williams, big body as well. Now, Jakeem Grant, I do not put him in there. I don't do it at this screen because this screen doesn't really typically matter. But usually what I'll do is I put in, where's he at? Lynn Bowden, I'll put him in over Jakeem, but I'll explain more of that when we get to that section. Tight end wise, easy enough. Mike Gesicki, Durham Strife, Adam Shaheem. If you like to pass out of 2 tight end sets, I would start Shaheem over Smite, but because I have Shaheem at the fullback position, I just keep Smite here. Smite's a decent pass catcher, so no big deal. Left tackle, not even a decision, Austin Jackson. Left guard, not even a decision, Eric Flowers. Tag Harris is the center. Solomon Kinley is the right guard, and the right tackle is going to be Robert Hunt. At N, you're going to keep Agba there. Right end, you'll let Christian Wilkins roll. DT, same. Raquan Davis, the rookie this year, really good player. Hope to see him develop more. And then you have Devon Godchucks at the second position. I always keep Kyle Van Noy at the left linebacker slot. And then over here, I keep Jerome Baker at middle because he's the fast running back. Although I do put Eldon Roberts in over Gruger Hill just because Eldon Roberts, I believe, has the better tackling. So let me just double check. Yeah, he has the better tackling and better hit power. So I put him in there. So if I do play free 4, he can be a little bit of a bang than what I would normally get. For the right outside linebacker, I actually put Shaq Lawson over Andrew Van Ginkel. You might be saying why Van Ginkel's rated higher. Shaq Lawson actually, I feel like he gets better off the blocks in pursuit. Let me just see here. So he has the higher block shedding. His pursuit's not as high. His play recognition is not high. They are really late. In real life, Shaq Lawson would start over Van Ginkel, but he was out for those last couple of years, so Madden kind of nerfed him. But I would start Shaq Lawson. Main reason being, I want Van Ginkel to come in on pass rushing plays only and keep him, rested for any regular free 4 or 4 free or however those base sets plays are. Cornerback wise, I leave this untouched because it does not really do anything for me. Byron Jones is your number 1. Xavier Howard is your number 2. Xavier Howard is rated higher. You could put him at the number 1 slot, but I keep my number 2 because typically teams have their best receiver in the number 2 slot. By McCain is our free safety. No drama there. Strong safety is going to be Eric Rowe. Kicker the same, punter the same, kick return to Jakeem. Third down halfback. This is where you could keep Matt Breida if you want to. Matt Breida, though, for my, opinion, he doesn't catch the ball well. You look at his catching, it's lower than Gaskins. And let me just see here. I'm looking at the blocking because sometimes you got to put him in the block. And yeah, Gaskins has better blocking. So I always put Gaskins there. I usually put Ahmed on number 2, but obviously you can kind of interchange and put Breida there if you want. But I keep Gaskins at the third down just because I think he runs harder, he breaks tackles, and while he's not as fast, I think he's the more efficient halfback. Power back, still keep Gaskins. Slot wide receiver, what I do is I take Lynn Bowden Jr. I put him over Jakeem Grant, and then I take Jakeem Grant and put Isaiah Ford over him. Now, once again, Jakeem Grant is a speed demon. You're probably saying, why are you benching someone with 95 speed? The reason why is he's not good at catching in traffic at all. Like, if he's not wide open, it's gonna be a drop. Now, a lot of people scheme and make plays where they can get him wide open. That's fine. You can always sub him in, like one of those plays. Like, I have a deep route play where I'll sub him in, but I don't start him to be my consistent slot receiver. I found that Lynn Bowden, he's a more explosive for me. He makes tougher catches, and I feel like he has a little bit more of a wiggle when it comes to avoiding people. I think Jakeem's just purely all speed, not a lot of wiggle room. If he don't burn you, then you're probably gonna get caught and tackled. I feel like Lynn Bowden offers more of that spark I want. I keep Mac Hollins here because he's tall, he's dependable. I haven't really had a reason to bench him. You know, when I do let him come in and play, he does what he has to do. And then Isaiah Ford, he's another one of the cases of a tall receiver. He's more possession. He's not going to really wow you with speed or anything, but he should catch it if you throw it his way. The reason why I have him here is because if I'm putting my slot receiver, it's probably for a position where I need to make sure on that third or whatever down it is, a catch is going to happen, and I feel like these guys give the best results. Now you could tell me, well, you know, hey Vicious, they got Albert Wilson and Allen Hurns here. They do. Albert Wilson's okay. He's not slow at all. I haven't been impressed with the times that I have used him in Madden. I feel like Lynn Bowden's been more explosive for me, but you can always test it out and see for yourself. Same with Hurns. He's okay. I haven't really given him much of anything because I kind of feel like him and Mac Hollins are kind of the same thing, except Hollins is taller. But you can experiment. I still feel like this is the optimum setup right here. For the rush end, you'll keep Agba there. Van Ginkel, as I said earlier, you'll keep him there so he stays refreshed. DT, you'll keep Wilkins here. You have to keep Sealer here because he actually has some speed to him. He'd be your fastest option. The only thing with Gacheks and where is he at? Raquan Davis is they're not fast, so they're not going to get off that block. So, you know, Sealer's your best option here. For middle linebacker coverage for the sub, what I usually do is I take Kyle Van Noy and I put him at number 2. So I have Jerome Baker be my number 1 because he's fast. He'll be covering the tight ends. He usually keeps up well with tight ends. And I keep Kyle Van Noy as number 2. He covers the running backs. Not a lot of running backs get thrown to, so I feel like Kyle Van Noy is a pretty decent matchup. If you do need that speed because you're going against a faster running back, you can put in Hill. His 89 speed means for the most part he won't be left in the dust when going against a halfback. Slot corner, you keep Nick Needham. You might be asking, why would I keep Nick Needham? He only has 86 speed. Noah has 91. Nick Needham has better techniques. Obviously, you can look here and see the awareness difference. Not a lot of people play with just slot corner, so if you do, then the awareness doesn't mean anything. But if you don't, that 83 awareness definitely trumps out that 68, and he'll definitely play the ball and react better. We'll also go into the play recognition. You see much higher than the 66. Man coverage, zone coverage also higher, and press is higher. Like, I like my corners to be able to just keep up with people, move, and make plays when I'm not around, and that's what you get from here. While Noah is faster, he also has a tendency to get beat more, and in a game where like Madden, where one big play could be the difference, you want to try and put your best unit on there. So you gotta look beyond the speed. You have to look beyond it and look into the actual facts. And I already showed you better coverage, better pressing belongs to Nick. And then usually what I do is I put in Jamal Perry. He's really our next corner up. He'll only come in like quarter plays where you have those 5 DBs on the field, but I like to just put him there so I don't have to worry about it in case I do call quarter and I have to figure out like, okay, what corner got reverted. Because I think if you don't change it, they put Xavier Howard on the inside, which I don't want. And that's pretty much the Dolphins for you. We'll move right along and we'll head towards the next team. And I'm literally just going to do what comes up first. The Patriots. All right, so the Patriots, if you're playing with the Patriots, you're pretty much relying on your defense first because that offense does not have any, well, they don't have much going for it, I should say. Cam's going to be your starter. If you don't start Cam, doesn't really make much sense. Sonny Michel, Damian Harris, I'm not going to lie to you, I put Damian Harris over Michel. Not only because of the speed, but I just feel like Damian Harris does more for me as a halfback than Sonny Michel does. Now, I get it, Sonny Michel's a 79, which is all cool and all, but I feel like Damian Harris has just more oomph to him. That being said, you look at the trucking, you see Damian Harris has that higher trucking that I like. So this is what I kind of keep it at. Damian Harris number 1, Michel number 2, and then Burkhead to James White to follow it up with. Let's see. Fullback, only fullback on the roster is him. Wide receivers, so you can keep Julian Edelman number 1, but then what I do is I put Jacoby over Harry. Reason why is other than being rated higher than Harry, you'll look here and you'll see he has higher awareness, 80 to 72, and his catching's better. So Harry right now is looking like a little bit of a bust, so I'm not really high on him, so I keep him right there. Mr. Bird, I keep at the third. He has the speed. Julian Edelman will go to play slot, so if you come on the receiver sets a lot, he'll be your number 2 option anyway, so you just kind of keep him there. Now, you could think about putting in Marquise Lee. He's only a 75. He's not really going to add too much of anything to, you know, the offense, so I don't really use him, but you're more than welcome to put him in there. I just don't know if he has a space over Jacoby, because I do like having that 6'2" wide out, and Marquise is 6 feet only, but at that point it's preference. Tight end, you have Ryan Izzo and Devin Alicia. I actually start Izzo. I think I only start him because he has the better blocking. Just gonna confirm that right now with y'all. So yeah, he has the better lead block, and he has the better run block. So that's why I start Izzo. But if I'm going into a pass situation, I will put IC in or Dalton Keaton. Really up to you how you prefer, but that's kind of what I do. Is I keep Ryan Izzo as my starter. Then when I go to pass, I'll sub either Devin or Dalton in. Usually Devin, because he's been making more plays for me throughout the year. O-line wise, Isaiah Wynn's your boy at 81. Joe's going to be your boy at 84. Andrew's going to be your boy at 85. And a right guard, 86. Right tackle, they have this dude right here. They don't really have... oh, they got Marcus Cannon. Okay. So I guess that's the real... But then again, this dude's got 91. I would probably keep... old boy here because he has a 91 awareness. So left end, John Simon or Simon. Reason why you keep him here is this is who's going to come out of your bases. He's not pass rushing. If you're a pass rushing, it'll be chase all day, but since it's just your base, like how to stop just runs or simple first second down plays, you keep John in here so you can keep chase off the field and refresh. Right end, Lawrence guy as well. He's just a big body, 315, gonna be hard to get past him, gonna be hard to run through him, so that's why you put him there. Dietrich Wise will be more if you want that little speed boost, but if you're calling a 3-4 play or a 4-3 play or like any base deep before nickel, you're probably not looking for speed, you're probably just looking for like, I just want to get a good stop. So Lawrence will be your guy in that scenario. At DT, you keep in Adam Butler. Then Lawrence guy is the backup. This is pretty great. I mean, you don't really need to do much of this lineup. Left outside linebacker, you're gonna keep Brandon Copeland there. He's gonna be your best bet. Middle linebacker, you're gonna get Devin Hightower, Donta Hightower out of the COVID list and put him back in as an 88. And then you're going to, I like to keep Bentley because Bentley's a good tackler. I know people like Therese because he's quicker, but I think Bentley's the better play, if I'm being honest with you. They also have Cassius Mala. He's their fastest linebacker. He's a 60. If you want to use someone and you want a fast linebacker, he'd be your dude, but he doesn't really see much play. I might put him in at like maybe passing downs, but doesn't see much play for me. Your right outside linebacker, you have really between Josh Usi and Calhoun. Honestly, preference, I think they had Calhoun doing more during the season, but yeah, I would probably go Josh over him in pass rushing downs. I let Calhoun start in just base downs. Then they have Brandon King. He's also a fast linebacker, something you can throw in for a sneaky blitz as well, or if you want to do a sneaky coverage, so just keep that in mind. Cornerback wise, what you see is what you get. You might be concerned with Jonathan Jones being down here. He gets bumped back up when you go into the slot. Still great corners on the Patriots. That's kind of like their foundation. Free safety, Devin McCourtney holds it down. Adrian Phillips, for the most part, holds it down. Now, if you did want to go a little bit more speed, you have Kyle Duggar here. He has that speed. His awareness is not too bad of a drop off. And I believe, let me just see here. So Phillips has better tackling, which makes sense. But Kyle has better hit power. So whatever you value more, I will start Adrian Phillips because I believe Kyle comes in as my sub defenders, just so I can have that speed on the field. Kick return, punt return. I mean, if you want speed, you could always put punt return at Beard, but Gunner's got the higher overall, which means he'll probably be better at breaking tackles and getting through the line. But once again, if you value speed, I mean, Beard's your dude. Third down halfback, James White, hands down him. No one really can touch the third down. He's your best pass catcher. It's going to be probably your best blocker. He's been doing it for years, so you don't disrupt a good thing. Power, Damon Harris, like I said, at the higher truck, so it makes it a no-brainer. Slot receiver, you go Julian Edelman, that's the slot dude. You could do Jacoby as well, Gunner, if you need to. Marquise Lee can make a dent in here if you want to do something different, but because of Julian being 5'10", his best position is going to be the slot, so it's not really a lot of place you can really move him, and you're going to want Julian on the field because that's pretty much one of the best hands on the team you're going to have. Your rushing left end is going to be Chase, 85 speed, which is great at end. And then you have Dedrick Wise, like I said, 75 speed. You can always put in Josh Usay, or if you want, you can do Brandon King here because of the higher speed. Choice is yours. The rushing DT, they have Dedrick Wise here as well. So that would make Josh probably come in on those passing plays. Up to you what you want to do. Usually for DTs, you want the big bodies. If you did want to try and put speed, you have Chase you can kind of sub in to do something with, or John, if not Dietrich, and then if not that, you can kind of make your own thing. Sub linebacker, they have Bentley. For this one, I would probably put in Hightower over Bentley just because he's a bit better, not only overall, but just awareness. Kyle here as the number 2 is a good match. He'll be going against mostly running backs. Now, if you did want to switch it to where Kyle would be ahead of Hightower, you could. Just remember that he would be going against the tight ends, not the running backs. And another honorable mention is Patrick Chung. You could put Patrick Chung in as well. Actually, going back into it, because once again, the COVID list messes you up heavily. But if you're going strong safety here, you're probably putting in Patrick Chung to start. So just keep that in mind. He's the higher overall, and I think he's got a little bit more wheels on the tire than Adrian Phillips does. But once again, up to you as a preference. Slot corner, Jonathan Jones, Jason McCourty. They have this dude, Miles Bryant. Don't know who the hell that is, but you probably shouldn't even get to having him on the field unless you're in quarter. So we have the Patriots. Not bad. Next team we're looking at is going to be the Bills. The Bills had a phenomenal year. This is a powerhouse team. Already out the gate, Josh Allen, no questions there. Halfback, Devin Singletary. They don't really give you a lot of options, so Devin Singletary is kind of your default. You have Zach Moss. He's more of the power back. Ironically, he's the same speed as Devin Singletary, so you're not getting too much of a difference. They have Ty Jones and T.Y. Hilton, or T.J. Hilton, I should say, and all these other boys. But I'd stick with Singletary. Highest overall, you already know what to expect, and he's gonna be able to hold and carry and do all the other stuff. And then if you need a tough yards, put in Zach Moss. Keep it simple. Fullback, only fullback on the roster, so pretty much. Wide receiver, you have Diggs, you have Brown, you have Beasley. That's pretty much a god tier combo. Diggs is phenomenal at coming at 97. John Brown at 30 years old is still fast as hell, so he's a burner. And then Cole Beasley's just, squiggly and annoying, but he makes the tough catches, which is what you're gonna want. If you are gonna sub in another receiver, the other one you're gonna probably sub in is Gabriel Davis from UCF. He's got some height to him, he's got some movement, and it looks like he could make some catches that you wouldn't think he could. So if I was playing with him, I would probably sub him in just to get some carries here and there. Tight end wise, Dawson Knox is going to be your dude. Tyler Kroft is okay, but the team kind of flows through Dawson. Now, if you did want to have a better run advantage when it comes to blocking, I don't think Dawson's the best with that. He's more of a pass catching. So you got run block. Lee Smith is your best one. So you did have a run block, you want to get sneaky, you could take out Dawson and put in Knox and get some sneaky yards. Left tackle, no debate there. Left guard, 72, not really a debate there. The difference really between these two is this one has better awareness, but usually I kind of lean more towards the overall in these cases, just because usually the way it works is even though the awareness is different, the overall means they have better physical attributes that help make them a more desirable player to have than what you're expecting. I was trying to see the pass block. So yeah, you see the blocky difference. He wins out because he has the higher overall. Awareness not as high, but he wins out because he has the higher blocking stats. Your center, Mitch. Right guard, you have between these two guys, because they're the same overall, I'm taking the 89 awareness. That's a pretty high awareness, so he must be able to have pretty decent blocking. Right tackle, Darrell Williams, once again, easy call right there. Highest overall, not really anyone around to compete with him. Left end, Trent Murphy. You honestly can go either or with him or AJ. I always go Trent though, just because he has the higher awareness and the slightly faster build. Jerry Hughes is your right end. Honestly, not really any comparisons to stop him. He's going to be your best bet at that right end position, generating pressure. DT, you have Ed Oliver. He, once again, undisputed starter. Honestly, with the rest of them, you can put him in however you see fit. They have Vernon Butler Jr. right now as number 2, but you could really make a case to put any of these guys here and probably get the same production. So just keep that in mind. Left outside linebacker, AJ Klein is going to be the guy. Middle linebacker, Tremont Edwards, that's also going to be the guy. Matt Milano, once again, the guy. So not much configuration there. Cornerback wise, you have Tre'Davious White, Josh Norman, and Levi Wallace, along with Teron Johnson. Now, pretty much we know Tre'Davious should be number 1, but you're wondering, okay, who from this should be number 2? First thing you'll look at is awareness. He's got 83 awareness. He's got 74. He has 83. So automatically Levi, he's kind of canceled out. We're looking at Norman and Wallace. Norman's 6 foot. Teron Johnson's 5'11". That could be the difference right there. But what I normally do is, outside the speed, I go and look at their coverage stats. So I can see here, Josh Norman has 74 man. This dude has 81 man. Josh Norman has 80 zone. This dude has 78 zone. On average, Teron Johnson is better than Josh Norman with the coverages. But we're going to give the nod to Josh Norman because of what I said earlier, where Josh Norman actually has that high... Oh, that was the same awareness. Okay. I got the same awareness. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll probably say... Oh, catching, 80 catching, that's probably going to be the difference then. 80 catching. So I'll go with 80 catching, and being taller is probably why I would go with Josh Norman. Obviously, up to you what you want, but Teron Johnson is faster, but I feel like Josh Norman kind of seals it with the whole catching. But up to you. If you do use Teron, let me know. He might be a better number 2 than Norman. Free safety Mika Hyde, no question there. Strong safety Jordan Poyer, no question there. Kicker Tyler Bass. Punters this dude. Returners Andre Roberts. You can either do him or you could do Isaiah. Just make sure you utilize and look at what their carrying is. So Isaiah's got 71, Roberts got 64. So just keep that in mind, because I make it a pastime mine to hit stick people coming out of punt returns, and I've gotten me some fumbles off that. Punt return about the same thing, gonna be Andre again. Third down halfback Devin Singletary. Honestly, you could kind of pick and choose who you want here. I would assume you would stay with Devin Singletary though. Power back. Now, if you're going strictly off power, it's going to be the Zach Moss. If you're just going to try and go with speed or just a little bit more slenderness, it'll be Devin Singletary. Me, I want the most powerful dude, so I'm putting Singletary in there and keeping on going. Cole Bleasy, Isaiah McKinney, and Andre Roberts. Not a bad lineup. I would probably put in Gabriel Davis as my number 2. Now, he's meant to be on the outside because of how tall he is, which is why the slot position didn't really have him listed there, but I'm just putting him in there just so that we have that. I don't want to say honorable mention, but just so we have that understanding. Your left end is going to be Trent Murphy. You could switch him out with AJ Epinesa. So if you see that Trent Murphy's getting tired and blocked up by the O-line, move him around and you could have AJ replace him. Just keep that in mind when you're playing online. Jerry Hughes is going to be that guy once again. Mario Addison, number 2. I mean, it really goes through Jerry Hughes. It's his role to lose. You're going to keep Ed Oliver on the field as your rush DT. He's going to make a presence there. He's got 80 free speed, which at DT is really good. And then you have Quentin Jefferson. He won't really do much for you. There's not really much people you could replace him with. You could try putting in like one of the ends there, but I just feel like the position he's in, it's not the most ideal for getting sacks. So your sub linebackers, people you could use in coverage, is going to be Tremont Edwards and Milano. They're going to be your guys. They're 2 of the fastest linebackers on the team. Now, I will say, typically you want to make a habit of trying to keep your sub linebackers as linebackers and not making them all safeties, because they're quicker. The reason why is in regs you could definitely run on people, and if you have a safety masquerade as a linebacker, depending on what running back it is, they might just tear right through that whole thing. So keep that in mind. And you have your slot cornerback. You have Teron Johnson. Obviously, it looks like he had really good stats. He's probably better than Levi Wallace at the slot. So we're just going to leave him in there and see what happens. Now, if for some reason these 2 people don't pan out, we have the pros in the back waiting for an opportunity. So keep that in mind. And that's going to be the Bills. And now we have to move on to the last team in the AFC East. And I'm pretty sure they finished last in real life too. We're going, of course, with the Jets. So if you are insane enough to use the Jets online, power to you. I used them once and I won, but I won because he disconnected. So keep that in mind. So we have Sam Darnold here. He's pretty much the unquestioned starter. Yes, we have Joe Flacco, but Sam Darnold's going to be the guy that, if you're going to use the Jets, is probably who you're playing with. Halfback wise, Frank Gore has 80 free speed, legend, but he just don't have it anymore. I would actually go ahead and put in LaMichael Perrine. The reason why I put in LaMichael Perrine is he kind of fits that mode of he's able to truck, able to break tackles, able to go forward, as you can see here, versus Ty Johnson. He's fast, but he's not really breaking any tackles. So I try and put Perrine there, Gore number 2. I keep Ty as the 3rd. I also admit if I'm doing like a toss or anything, but I don't want him to come out routinely. Fullback wise, their fullback's a tight end, so you know he's going to be able to catch. I mean, that's kind of the handicap by that team. If that's what they chose, that's what they chose. Wide receiver wise, and it gets ugly. Jamison Crowder is your best receiver. So you have Pyramid 75, Men's 72, Braxton Bear 72, and all these other J bros. Honestly, it's however you feel about it. I would make sure you keep Pyramid number 1, Mims at number 2, and then you would keep Crowder in the slot, and then honestly for the rest of them I just pull them in there and see what happens. So sub out one player, put one of those other players in, and see what they could do anything worthwhile. Tight end Christopher Herndon the 4th, easy enough. Ryan Griffin's the backup. Left tackle the rookie Mika Becton, solid. Left guard is going to be Alex Lewis. Don't really see anything I could upgrade on. Center the same way. Right guard the same because of the awareness. George Faint found work in the lead. These two are eerily close. Not gonna lie, eerily close. Let me just see here who has the better option. Yeah, it's literally off by like a point, which is crazy when you really think about it, like just off by a point. But we'll keep George in there. He's got the bigger body at 322 than the 308, so we'll keep him there. Henry Anderson's your left end, not exactly a burner, but he can make things happen. John Franklin Myers will be your cleanup, so if Frank gets someone and he can't finish them, John Franklin Myers will be the one to come up and take out the enemy. Right in, you have your Quinnen Williams, no longer rookie, but still making a big impact. You then have Nathan Shepard and Trevon Coley. DT, keeping it big with Mr. Fatu Kasi. 76 puts him at the best option outside of Quentin Williams. Left outside linebacker, you'll do Terrell Basham. He has the 82 speed. Jabari's not bad, but we always kind of will lean towards Terrell just because he is faster. Middle linebacker, all I'm doing here is I'm putting in CJ Mosley and Patrick Owasser. This should be enough to hold most linebackers and running backs away. You have 2 primo players at this position, so just keep that in mind. Jordan Jenkins will be my right outside linebacker, 74. He has 75 speed. I kind of keep him there on the base plays, and when we're doing pass rusher plays, I try and put in someone who's a bit quicker, because I feel like Jordan, while he has that expertise, he's a little bit slow to get off blocks. Cornerback wise, honestly, do whatever you want to do whatever you want to do with it. Do whatever you want to do with it. Bryce Hall, 6'1", Oz at 6'1", Lamar Jackson 6'2". That's probably gonna be your main free corners. Brian Poole is the best corner on the team, but he is only 5'10", so just kind of keep that in mind. You know, the good news is these corners are for the most part decently fast, so they shouldn't get burnt too badly. Bradley McDonald, that would be your free safety that you can start. The reason why I start him is I like Ashton Davis, but I'd rather put him in to cover a linebacker in like a nickel play because you get that extra speed boost. Now, if you know for a fact they're going to run, you don't need run support, put Ashton Davis in. But long-term wise, Bradley McDonald's going to be your best play. Marcus Mays, a stud. Honestly, you don't have to really think about what to do at this screen. Once you see Marcus Mays here, it's pretty much a wrap. You have the kicker, punter, kick returner is Corey Valentine. I mean, you can go with him. It's no big deal. I like kick returners get returned all the time anyways. Your third down halfback is Ty Johnson. That's probably to get more mobility on the field. You can keep it that way. If you didn't want him to be the third down halfback, then I would probably suggest LaMichael. But, you know, you get that with a free header run attack if you keep him. So it's no harm, no foul. Power, Frank Gore. It's going to be Frank Gore all the way. He's the legend. So for those short yardages, put in the inconvenient truth so he can go ahead and bring you home. Slot wide receiver, Jamison Crowder, Braxton Berrios. You could volunteer to be a slot receiver if you really want to. We have a lot of wide receivers, so it's going to be pretty much it's going to be just your preference. I think Jamison Crowder is your best bet because at 5'9", he's too small to be outside, but he fits perfectly for the slot. So just kind of keep that in mind. Same with Braxton. Your rushing left outside linebacker, still keep it as Terrell, but alternating with Jabari just so that we can keep each other fresh. When Jordan Jenkins comes, we actually have Bryce Huff. I would probably swap around these two to make sure that we get some speed on the outside coming in. So just kind of keep that in mind. For my defensive tackle, I have John Franklin Myers at 79 speed and Quinn Williams at 78 speed. So both of them big boys, both of them should be hard to run through and up the gut. So that's why we went and picked them. What's up, linebacker? I have Patrick. But I want to put in CJ Mosley just because he's a better, his name is more renowned for what he does. And then Neville Hewitt here. You can see he has the better awareness, but I might put in Blake Cash because I think Blake Cash has the better man stats and the better zone stats. So let's just see here. 60, 60, 69, 68. Okay, so pretty much about the same. Because of that, I will let the speed dictate what we're gonna do. And it's gonna be Cashman the whole way. So there you go. For your slot corners, you have Brian Poole. He lives in the slot. That's just his thing. Again, you have these two guys. I'm not really sure what they do, but yeah. Good luck to those wide receivers that you have to use, which I mean, I'll try to do a corner view for all in that scenario. So it'd be Bryce Hall and Blesson Austin, man. Welcome to the fire, bro. Welcome to the fire. Trying to get back. But that being said, that's all the teams in the AFC East. Just give you a quick eye into my depth chart of what I look at. I'll be back more with the other divisions in the NFL. If there's any division you want to see next, let me know. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. Have a good one. Peace.